You know, all across the ancient world, our ancestors left behind these incredible messages. But they weren't written in books, they were written in stone. These megalithic monuments, they're some of humanity's oldest and most profound mysteries. Just silent giants, scattered all over the landscape. So what secrets are they still hiding?
Okay, to give you an idea of the kind of scale we're dealing with, let's just start with a number, 25 tons. That's the average weight of a single one of the big sarsen stones that make up the outer circle of Stonehenge. I mean, that's like stacking 15 mid-sized cars on top of each other. Just wild. And that really leads us to the big question for this whole explainer. Think about it. In a time before modern machines, before even written language as we know it, how on earth did people quarry and then transport and then put up these massive structures with such mind-blowing precision? It's a puzzle of engineering, astronomy, and just pure human will.
So, let's start our investigation with the monuments that are open to the sky. These huge stone circles that basically act as giant clocks or celestial calendars, connecting the Earth right to the cosmos.
Now, there's a technical term for one of these, and it's a cromlech. It's really just a circular arrangement of standing stones or megaliths. And of course, the most famous cromlech on the entire planet has got to be Stonehenge.
And when you really look at Stonehenge, you realize how complex it is. You've got that massive outer sarsen ring, right? But then there's an inner ring of smaller blue stones, which, get this, came from over 150 miles away. And right at the very heart of it all, there's a U-shaped arrangement of the biggest stones, called the sarsen horseshoe. This thing was a massive project that took centuries to build.
And this is where things get really clever. This shows just how sophisticated these builders were. I mean, they weren't just stacking rocks. They were using woodworking techniques on solid stone. They carved out holes called mortises into the horizontal stones so they'd fit perfectly over these little peg-like bumps or tenons on the upright ones. They even used tongue and groove joints to lock the outer pieces together into this perfect, smooth circle. That is some seriously advanced engineering.
So you have to ask, why go to all this trouble? Well, it all comes down to its purpose. The entire structure is basically a massive celestial calendar. If you stand right in the middle, on the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, you see the sun rise perfectly over one specific stone. It's a direct line from the Earth to the cosmos.
But here's the thing. Stonehenge isn't some kind of anomaly. It's just one of over 1,000 stone circles in the British Isles alone. So let's take a quick look at another really fascinating one. This one's up in Cumbria, England, and it's known as Long Meg and her daughters.
And you gotta love the folklore that comes with this one. The name comes from this local legend that says the stones are actually a coven of witches that got turned to stone by a powerful wizard. It's just a great reminder that these places have been sparking awe and inspiring stories for thousands and thousands of years.
Okay, so we've been looking at these open-air circles. Now, let's shift our focus to a totally different kind of monument, one that looks inward, into the earth itself, the Great Burial Mounds.
These are known as a tumulus, or sometimes you'll hear the word barrow. It's basically an artificial hill made of earth and stone, built to cover and protect the remains of the dead. These were sacred spaces, tombs for their most important ancestors.
And the main example we're going to look at here is Newgrange in Ireland. From the outside, it honestly just looks like a big, grassy hill. But what's inside is this incredible stone-lined passage that leads to a cross-shaped chamber, a feat of engineering that's been standing for over 5,000 years. It is without a doubt one of the most important passage tombs ever found.
And here's the part that just blows my mind. Check out this timeline. Newgrange was built around 3200 BC. Just let that sink in for a second. That makes it older than the main construction of Stonehenge, and, unbelievably, it's even older than the Great Pyramids of Giza. This thing is a true relic from the absolute dawn of civilization.
So, what's its big secret? Well, just like Stonehenge, it's all about the sun. On the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, for just a few minutes at sunrise, a single beam of light enters through this little opening above the entrance. They call it a roof box. And that beam travels perfectly down a 62-foot-long stone passage and completely lights up the central burial chamber in this brilliant flash of golden light. It's a total architectural miracle. So, after looking at these circles for the cosmos and these mounds for the ancestors, what do these incredible structures actually tell us about the people who built them? What are the messages they carved in stone?
Let's just quickly put our two main examples side by side. So you've got Newgrange, which is older, it's a tumulus or passage tomb, and it's aligned specifically to the winter solstice sunrise. Then you have Stonehenge. It's younger, a cromlech or stone circle, and it's aligned to both the summer and winter solstices. So two different cultures, hundreds of years apart, both using this monumental architecture to connect with the heavens.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. These monuments prove just how ingenious and sophisticated our ancient ancestors were. These people were master engineers who could basically move mountains. They were sharp astronomers who tracked the seasons with unbelievable accuracy. And pretty clearly, they held this deep, spiritual reverence for the cycles of life and death, and how all of that connected to the wider cosmos. I mean, these are achievements that can rival anything in the ancient world, and they were built by people who left no written records, only these incredible, enduring puzzles in stone. And that just leaves us with one final thought. After all this time, what other secrets are they still waiting to tell us?